Oh,
Oh, oh, yeah. Start going in already.
Yeah, yeah.
All the buttons going. Good morning, people. One Nyaki.
eat the tinioke, huh?
Uh, Coming live from the 1950. Um, it's a special day today.
Oh yeah,
Special day today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
yeah. My name is David. I'm in active recovery, and I am Cheyenne Repo, and I'm one of the variety facilitators here at the tour office, and it's grateful to be here.
Like I said, it's a big day around here. Mr. Levi got his 1 year today.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, that's amazing. I remember this time last year. You were handed the gift of desperation.
Yeah.
And to watch you grow. To watch the lights come on. And to watch your process, and to see you embrace this recovery life. I think you're a great example for our community. And man, you jumped in head first. You've been involved since you went out west, and I just want to say congratulations. It's a huge mark. And I'm very proud. Very proud of you. Good morning, Miss Cindy, Janice, Miss Kimberly. Yes, thank you,
Chad boy.
Chad boy.
Morning, Chad boy.
I love that shirt.
It's a good story about this shirt.
Yep, tell it.
So our brother Chad boy, he's in the chat right now.
Good morning, Lynn.
Came out here to Oklahoma for some world variety training a few weeks ago, and he's here a couple of weeks, and one of those weeks, he stayed with us at our apartment, slept in the living room and everything, but last day, we showed this guy all the hospitality and respect and love for 2 weeks, took him around our family, took him to ceremony with us. Now last morning, he just got up and ran out of my house. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't shake my hand. Didn't show no love. Just bounce, I was devastated. Man, how my brother gonna do me? And I asked my wife Brittany, I was like, "Where'd Chad go?" He's like, "Oh, he's in a rush today. He had a coffee date with Miss Southern Plains." He was all worried about that coffee. Didn't he come back before he went to the airport?
Was gone. Huh?
So I get up and I go in the restroom to take a shower, and this guy left his socks on the ground, underwear on the ground, pair of shorts, this t-shirt, and a wet towel.
I was just real surprised you even wore underwear.
Yeah, I know. So I love the shirt, Chad. The underwear is a little snug, but I love the shirt.
Yeah. Great story.
Yeah.
Great story. Well, looks good on you.
Mm.
So, you want to tell the people a little bit about your journey, about the gift of desperation, where that left you and how it led you to where you are today.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So this is probably the third week in July of last year. A few things happened, and I was tearing it, and DHS come knocking at my mom's door to tell me that I was tearing it, and tried my best to play it off, finesse them, and get out of the situation, but then they seen right through it, and then so they stepped in, questioned, whether my daughter was in a safe environment or not, and honestly, she wasn't, because I just was still using stuff like that. So was my wife. And, thankfully, my sister Christine were there, and so Rosie showed up like within 10 minutes, was there for me, and so baby didn't have to go into the state's hands, nothing like that. So really grateful for them to helping us out. But you know, DHS took custody, and baby went to my sister's for a little while, and then you know that's when like it started. It hit. You know that it was serious. You know, like man, I'm out here messing up. Bro. I was like, just then to recognize that I needed help. You know, I didn't know what to do. Called you. You know, for at the same time, I'm really going to shout out to my big brother Debo. That day, he was there for me, came and picked me up. Had a really good conversation about going out to California for help, you know, and really helped guide me into that, making that decision, you know. So made that decision that night, you know, went out to California, me and my wife, because, you know, we were just tearing it real bad, you know. It wasn't as bad as it had been in the past, but it was still bad,
Yeah.
you know. So I got help before, but it was kind of like court ordered.
Yeah.
You know, got sent to rehab in handcuffs, you know, and didn't take it. I took it serious, pretty much just worked, you know. But this time I was like, all right, I gotta try something different, you know. So get out to California and you know, was just looking for help any way, shape I could, you know. And then thankfully the tech over at South Coast, Mr. James Brown, you know, he saw that I needed a sponsor. That he had a guy in mind who had went through my situation 26 years ago, you know, and got me to a meeting to where he'd be at. And I remember that meeting, man. I was down. I was depressed. I was hurting real bad, you know, in a dark place. I was telling my story sharing my story a little bit at that meeting, and I was just crying, man. Like I couldn't barely tell it, you know, because I was just so hurt about my own actions. But then my sponsor was there. He wasn't a sponsor at the time, but he was there. He shared his story, and I just heard all the similarities, you know, everything. I was like, oh yeah, definitely. So approached him to be my sponsor, you know, and got his phone number. And then, like I said, my boy James Brown, man, like at the time I was in residential, and they allowed me to make one phone call a day, but I had to call my sponsor before I made any other phone calls. So man, worked the steps with him, got into that big book. Like I would wake up sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, be reading my big book, you know?
Yeah.
And just when other guys would be watching movies I've seen a million times, I'd be out in the back patio in the big book, you know?
Yeah.
So I get my step work in, you know, and that became my goal. Like as soon as I found my sponsors, like I've got to get through these steps before I leave California.
Yeah.
I've got to figure this thing out or something, you know, see what this whole AA thing is all about before I go home, you know, and then, you know, by the grace of God, you know, I was able to get through those steps with my sponsor before I came back from California. And it's changed my life. It's like that really was like the game changer. Like somewhere in the steps, probably around steps 5 or 6, I think that's whenever like the clarity started hitting me. My perspective started changing on life. And it's really just like the prayer and meditation is where it's at for me.
Oh yeah.
You know, like if you told me a year ago that I'd be waking up praying and meditating every day and throughout the day, and then at night praying again, bro, I'd be like, man, come on.
Yeah.
You know, but now that that's what I've been doing for months and months and months, the benefits are like, there's so many benefits, you know.
For sure.
The clarity, the peace of mind, the forgiveness I've given myself, and then like just even my physical health, like blood pressure went down. It was pre-diabetic beforehand. You know, I've learned to like eat better, and you know, I'm not pre-diabetic no more. You know, and just relationship was real toxic with my woman at the time, but now it's like we're very, very happily married. You know, and it's just cool, man, to have like come back home and dive in and like, you know, whatever I did in California, my focus is like when I get home, I'm gonna keep doing that. I go to meetings and I go to groups all the time in California, and I speak to my sponsor and, you know, AA all the time. That's what I'm gonna do here. That's what I've been doing, you know, and it just keep it pushing, man. Like a whole lot of one days at a time, you know.
Yeah. Oh. Good morning, Paula. My boy Dylan. C-Dump. My Aunt D. Good morning. Good morning, Auntie. You know, well, I feel like that gift of desperation, you know, people may not understand what that means. Good morning, TJ. from Lawton. Good morning, brother. You know, that gift of desperation. You know, I see that, you know, not everybody's the same, but I see where either that can become the best thing to ever happen to somebody, or you know what I mean, they're not done and they gotta
Yeah.
they gotta go find out the hard way, you know. So I've been seeing that a lot though lately, you know, is that gift of desperation.
Mhm.
Knowing that you tried it your way. You know, you tried it your way. And not very good results,
Yeah.
you know. Cause I remember back, you know, I can't remember how many months I had, but me and you got a chip at the same noon
Yeah.
meeting. And you know, I always remember that, you
Yeah.
know, because I was just like, well, dang, you know, David's getting it.
Yeah.
You know, David understands, you know. I think you might have had more time than me
Yeah.
at that time. And I'm just like, you know, like he's getting it. You know, he understands what I'm talking about. And you know, you know, as time went by, you know, then I think you graduated drug court, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't see you no more.
Yeah. It's
You
hit the
know?
ground running like that night. I was, you know, but that's just how it is sometimes. You know, like I think the biggest difference between then and now is then I didn't put no action into my recovery.
Yeah,
I just went to the meetings on my phone. I that's it.
you
You
had the
know?
answer. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
had the
like
answer.
I just stopped, but it's still like being around people I was around, same block, you know.
Yeah,
So then as soon as that structure was gone, I was like, you know, let's go. But now, you know, I'm working the steps, giving me the tools, you know, needed to make sure that just for today, I can use these tools to lower my percentage of messing my life up again.
yeah,
You know.
for sure. Well, you know, like I said, congratulations, brother. You know, that
Ooh.
means, I mean, you know, that
Yeah.
means the world. You know, it
Yeah.
means the world to our community. Because, you know, like I always tell people, they need to see us succeed.
Yeah.
You know, they need to know that this thing is real and that this thing can happen for, if it can happen for us,
Oh yeah.
it can happen for anybody, you
Mhm.
know. And like I said, that gift of desperation, you know,
Yeah.
like I know some people probably like the gift of
Oh yeah.
desperation, but unless you've been there, not saying that you have to go there to get sober, but I mean it, man, that's what clicked,
Yeah.
you know.
It's like, are you willing to do whatever it
Whatever
takes?
it takes,
And I
you
was
know.
like, yeah, like
Yeah,
let's go. You know, like I already knew what the results were being, you know, one
yeah,
foot in, one foot out.
surrender. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
like
got to completely surrender to this
yeah.
thing, you know, and give yourself a chance,
Hmm.
you know. And yeah, that was a huge deal to watch you go, and then how everything unfolded for you, and how everything, you know, the creator just lined everything up for you.
Yeah.
And it didn't just happen. I mean, I definitely watched you put in the work.
Yeah.
And you let the creator handle the results, you know. And I thought it was, you know, I was loving it for you, you
Yeah.
know. I remember, you know, when you got to California, you know, and we're messaging, and you know, I'm just like, I knew then, you know, like
Mhm.
I can't I can't sugarcoat anything, you
Yeah.
know. You got to do this, you got to do that, you know what I mean. But then I feel like, you know what I mean, like you went above and beyond, you know, what you had to do, you know. And
Yeah. Thank you for the advice at that time, because man, like whatever you told me then, and still to this day, whatever you tell me is like golden. You know what I'm saying? Like that's boom, that's like my foundation. So when I was out there, you told me, you know, you gotta get these meetings, you gotta get on the bus, whatever it takes. I
yeah,
was out there,
yeah,
especially the first 45 days I was there in residential. I didn't have no phone. I had nothing else better to do except step work. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, good morning, Randy. Good morning, Jake, Gene, Paula.
Randy,
Yep,
China buns.
yep. Hit Randy with the
A China buns.
good morning, Rose. You know, well, just when, you know, and your wife, you know,
Oh yeah.
she got a year today
Mhm.
too. You
Soon to be a
know,
year.
rode with you, you know, and got to see your little family, you know, and that's just life for you now,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and it's
definitely.
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, you know. And you know, like I just always say, it's gonna be that gift of desperation, you know, that people that you the people that people count out,
Yeah.
you know, it's crazy how, you know, those end up being the ones, you know,
Yeah.
the ones, you know. Yeah, good morning, nephew Reese. Hope Street guy.
Hope Street Boulder Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, should we jump into these
Oh, yeah,
readings?
yeah.
And you can go first.
Right, right. So we're in the summer meditations with Native American elders. There are many people who could claim and learn from their Indian ancestry, but because of the fear of their parents and grandparents knew, because of past and present prejudice against Indian people, that part of their heritage is clouded or denied. Joseph Brugage, Abenaki. There were many injustices done to Native people. Sometimes I wonder, why am I connected to the past injustices done to Indian people? Why am I so angry about the past? The elders say our ancestors are alive within us, within each of us. Therefore, I may experience anger and resentment inside of me because of the injustice done to them. The way I get rid of these feelings, these past feelings, is to forgive. It may be necessary to even learn to forgive the unforgivable. Today, I intend to focus on Great Spirit. Teach me the path of forgiveness. Teach me the courage to forgive. Teach me to let go. Give me a forgiving heart. Mm.
Morning, brother Earl.
Yeah. So for me, that speaks on the intergenerational trauma. You know, and at some point in time, working through the steps, especially the variety steps. I worked through the steps of AA first, and that's when I started really learning about forgiveness. You know, got to like that step 8, step 9. Making a list of people to make my amends to, and then like that step 4. Recognize their part, recognize my part in everything, and forgiving others for the things they've done for me. To me, the most important thing for me was like forgiveness for myself.
For sure.
Forgiveness of myself.
Huge.
Yeah, that was huge. And like to recognize and like, so I felt I went through this very thorough my AA steps, but then when we got to variety steps, the intergenerational trauma was addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So learning how to do that, and then learning more about forgiveness. Like forgiveness for me isn't just I say I forgive somebody once and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Those feelings and those resentments may come up later, and I got to remind myself, oh, I already forgave myself. I already forgave that person for that.
Yeah.
I can't be thinking like that no more. Or for instance, like us as Cheyenne people, big thing for me was like the Sand Creek Massacre.
Oh yeah.
Washita battle. That those are like some very traumatic things that happen to our people.
Yeah.
And you go back and think about that. Forgiving so some of those soldiers that were just following orders. Some of them were probably
Yeah.
really bad people. But also remembering that there were some of those commanding officers that didn't want to do it and held back. So I thank them too for holding back, because probably wouldn't be here if they didn't hold back. They went full force on us. And then and then going down the generations, like the boarding school era, and then for instance, my parents, the way they was raised, I'm not sure how they was raised, but they didn't have the luxury of all the help that we have nowadays.
Yeah.
They were raised and they had a hard life, so I got to constantly remind myself that, hey, they weren't raised the way I was raised. They did their best raising me, and now I got to continue doing my best to raise my children. So a lot of forgiveness, man. I deal with forgiveness on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels good too. I work. I'm always bringing it back to steps. But like when I made some amends, to some of the former women that I was with in my life, Creator put me and them in the same spot at a few meetings, or like in a sobriety event where they were there, and I had to step up to them and make my amends
Yeah.
to them. You know, it took a lot of courage to do that.
Yeah.
I was nervous as can be. Like, I want to go do this, brother. You know, like sit down and pray. Gotta go do this. You know, ain't no time better than now. You know, so I just
Yeah.
have to get up and go do it. You know, apologize for my part, and be sincere about it, and it worked out great because both of those two women that I had previous relationship with, they were in recovery as well.
Yeah.
You know, so they were able to make that amends to me and me to them, and it just worked out fine. You know, feel a lot better about those things, and just be able to recognize that like those toxic relationships weren't really just us, just because we were sick.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing
For
a
sure.
lot of bad stuff. You know, and I'm just grateful that they are on the right path now, and that I am where I'm at now. Oh,
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I remember you were talking about that, and I was like, "Dang, this guy has to go tell that whole group."
come back sweating.
Yeah, that all 10 of them. Boy, this guy's on the road today, boy.
Whole meeting.
Yep. 2 at a time. Yeah.
Cold blooded.
Yeah. So, amazing. And what comes to mind? Good morning, Shelly. Good morning, Sky. Oh, Sky, checking in from Edmond. All right, brother. All right, Larry Tane. Oh. Yeah, we told Jake.
Oh yeah, we're definitely coming to
Cheyenne.
Medicine Tribe.
Yeah, coming to Medicine Tribe tonight. Well, I don't get to go, but our Well Brady group's gonna make it up there tonight. So, getting back to this reading, I grew up in a little bitty town in Custer County. That always bothered me that there was a county named after a famous Indian killer.
Yeah.
And to be like raised in that environment, I learned very young. My dad was like, "Boy, you can't blame everything on racism.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to deal with these people all of our lives. Either there's a hard way to go about it, or there's a way that you can overlook these things and realize that there's things that you got to do in life regardless."
Yeah.
But it just became another thing for me to have those resentments, and I it made me that's basically why I wanted to leave from that small town,
Yeah.
move to El Reno where the native population is still growing, and like you were saying, you get into recovery, you learn how to forgive, and before you can forgive anybody, you got to learn to forgive yourself. And if I can forgive myself for the things that I put me and my family through, a lot of these things become a little bit easier. What keeps coming to mind is, the Washita. I was reading one of them books of what the soldiers were doing to pregnant women, and like that really really bothered me. The how cold blooded they were,
Yeah.
to a pregnant woman, and it I mean, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it still gets to me, and but through recovery, through the Wellbriety book, being able to look at these elders meditations, and see how these things can apply to my life, it's led me in a part of my life that I never knew existed. And I can't use those things anymore. That used to fuel me to go do bad,
Yeah.
fuel me to hold grudges against people that didn't even have nothing to do with what happened. It really opened my eye. about about yes, okay, it did happen. I can acknowledge that. There were some bad things that happened from some bad people. But times have definitely changed. We're resilient people. If we just focus on that, you know, uh, having that closed mind, how far is our people going to go if that's all that we can focus on? You know, uh, that generational trauma, I hope, is going to turn into that generational healing.
Yeah.
And hopefully we understand what the problem was. Okay, so what's that solution look like?
Yeah.
Where does that begin? And we got to start somewhere. So I've 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 thought about that. I think about it probably more often than not. It's so easy for me to say, well, just a bit,
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I understand now that we're different, but we all got to live on this earth, and me fighting against, the natural order and the interconnectedness of how we need to realize that there needs to be generational healing.
Yeah.
And part of that is forgiveness.
Yeah.
So for that, just having that, when I have these things, I always think this ray of sunshine is gonna come down, and I'm gonna hear these.
Like on Blues Brothers.
Yeah. But they always end up more like Homer Simpson, like yo, like oh man,
Yeah.
like. But yeah, I've just been fortunate enough, surround myself with people, that are like minded.
Yeah.
That really helps. And my sponsor.
Yeah.
My sponsor, man, he's a hell of a dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, my
Uh,
best friends now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my sponsor, he really made an effort to see what the native perspective was, and he totally respected, he doesn't say God anymore. He says creator.
Mhm.
And it just this thing could definitely happen. He helped me set myself free.
Yeah.
And I was my own gatekeeper. I got out of God's way, and the rest. Now I see you helping people.
Yeah.
And that's what this thing's all about. That's what it's all about. And I love it. Very fortunate. Very fortunate. Good morning, Mr. Kenny Ray. Oh, Mingo. Oh yeah. The coyote. Shakopee. He's going to Shakopee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Ooh.
going to Minnesota.
Heck yeah.
Better come back with some mahongas. Mm-hmm.
One more-
Coyote and old man stuff. Yep, Nyakit, Kenny Ray. Another good guy, another
Yeah.
PRSS doing his thing over there. But yeah, is there anything that you would like to add?
Yeah. So definitely one of the things that helps me on a daily basis is like my morning prayer. I always I like to get into an attitude of gratitude,
Yeah.
and one part of my prayer is that I mentioned it in the chat yesterday, but I'd like to elaborate on it. Like, what's the creator for all the not just the sacrifices that are made for us to be here, because a lot of our people died for us to be here,
Yeah.
and to have our ways, but
True.
also, there's a lot of love made, a lot of resiliency, and a lot of prayers and offerings made for us to still have these ways to be here.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
like to acknowledge that every morning. Thank you, Creator, for the love made and the sacrifices made for us to still be
For
here
sure.
and have these ways.
Yeah.
Especially after like last night, we get to go sit down with some brothers and sisters and sweat. Like every time we go out there, I'm like, man, I'm just happy to have this.
Grateful. Grateful. Blessed that we, get to leave all our problems there, build that faith.
Yeah.
Build that relationship with the Creator. Good morning, little brother Drew. Good morning, Danu. All
What's up,
right.
brother?
Yep. Society brother right
Mhm.
there. Who? Well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and jump into these announcements. You wanna read?
Yeah. All right, so we got a Talkspace. We're over here from Tour. Talkspace is an online therapy app, and you can connect with different therapists, all kinds of deals with grief, trauma, depression, dependency, relationships, or other therapy topics. I actually use this myself, me and my wife too. It helps us, just to have somebody extra to talk to. And mine is it's easy to sign up to. You go to Talkspace.com. You scan the QR code we have used on the Facebook and type in restore to get the
Yeah, on the
get the access to
organization.
the organization. And once you do that, it gives you a little questionnaire like what are you here for?
Yeah.
Mine is I put drug addiction and gambling addiction. Those are like my two biggest things that
Yeah.
are taking me out left and right. So so based on that and a few other questions, they line you up with like a list of therapists with all the descriptions, their history. Then you get to choose which one to connect with. You connect with them, you do like a little 10-minute interview with them, and if you feel comfortable with them, then you can get it started with them. So
Wow.
I'm on my second therapist, not by choice, but because my other therapist left Talkspace. But this new one I have is great too. So yeah, and also, like I said, we have a court case going on, and one of the requirements is to have therapy sessions, monthly therapy sessions, and this helps me stay in compliance with that part of
Wow.
my program. But
And
yes,
it's free. And it's free.
and it's free. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely free, and it's like 30 minutes. You get 2 30-minute sessions on your phone or on your computer. I think my last session we were at Indonesia's Power at the campground setting up tent. Me and George, I just went over there under a tree, and had my therapy session.
Wow.
So anywhere, anytime, you get help. Also, we got the overdose prevention packs. Inside these packs, we're trying to prevent losing more native lives to overdose and fentanyl poisonings. We got Narcan, fentanyl test kits, medication disposal packs, medication lock bags, wound care kits, opioid overdose, symptom information, Narcan administration information, and more information about drugs. So you can fill that out on the job form.
Yeah, on the job
form
form.
on the Facebook page. Also, want to shout out Brand Logics. We text TOUR to 888-580-4TOUR to stay up to date with our events and groups and everything going on. Also, we're having an overdose awareness event going on August 24th in Watauga, Oklahoma at the Lucky Star Casino Convention Center. 10 a.m. We're gonna have the opening ceremony. We're having a guest speaker at 11 a.m. We're having lunch at noon. We're gonna have some program highlights at 1 o'clock and then 2 o'clock to do the closing ceremony. So if you guys lost someone or would like for them to be included in our memorial, let us know through email.
Yeah.
Include any pictures, if you want to come up there personally, share the story about how your loved ones, is a great place to do it.
Yeah.
Also, afterwards, we're gonna have an overdose memorial benefit dance at the ERC right next door. So that evening, lunch will be provided by Pathways Community Living, also Lucky Star. But y'all come out. That's going to be a good day. Whole full day full of events. And then come out there and we'll be gourd dancing at some specials too, right?
Yeah.
Contest specials.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be good.
Jingle dress and then a women's all categories. Golden Age.
Golden Age. Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
We're also still doing the applications for the All Nations Rest Recovery Gourd Proclaim Princess. So if you guys are interested in that, contact Carmelo. I call him John Revelis, 405-496-3742. But all right. C. Revelis at shinerapo-nsm.gov.
And thank you, Isaac. Thank you for your comments, Mr. Isaac Rhodes.
Also, we got some of our well-variety meetings and AA meetings going on throughout the week. So on Mondays, we're starting a new meeting. I'm very excited about that one because right now, in our community, we've lost a few tribe members. Our tribe's going through a very challenging time right now. But we got a new meeting starting up next Monday. It's called Mending Mondays. It's Mending Mocha. We're going to be facilitating the Mending Broken Hearts program through Variety.
Yes.
And that is focused on grief. And I'm very excited about that because that's
me too.
Yeah. When I went through the training, one thing I did, how it helped me is I don't think I grieved my father's death properly.
Yeah.
He passed away in 2009. And you know, it's kind of had a lot going on then, you know, like, but I would use his death as an excuse to use and go out and tear it,
Yeah.
you know, and that's kind of was ultimately my downfall. And I just got tired of doing that. I got tired of like, I had to say goodbye in a good, healthy way and work through it and, you know, talk about it. So, man, it's great. We're going to be doing that starting on Monday nights at 7 p.m. here at 1950 South Shepherd. So every Monday, you guys want to come through, you know, we'll be here.
Yeah.
You know, rain, sleet, or snow, we'll be here. You know? Also, we have a talking circle in Clinton. Let's do that. Clinton Library, 721 Frisco Avenue in Clinton, 7 p.m. Then we're going to start that one on August 27th.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, we have an AA meeting that we do in Watonga, 203 North South Street. These informal gatherings.
At the hut, right? The hut.
Right there at the northwest corner of the park.
Yeah.
So people are unaware where it's at. You know, we went up there Tuesday. We made a whole day out of it. Me and my wife took the girls up to Romano's that afternoon. A little bit of swimming. Then we went and hit up the AA meeting that evening. You know, so
That's
it's good.
cool.
Yeah. So come on out. So, you know, like, especially out there in our communities in the northwest part of our community, you know, like there's a lot of our brothers and sisters that need help. So, you know, pull up every Tuesday. We'll be there at 7 o'clock. So we pull up that little park area. You see some cars. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also Thursday we have a talking circle here at 1950 South Shepherd. Tonight we're gonna for all of the people that usually come to the meeting on Thursday nights, we're gonna try to go to what is it?
Angie Smith
Methodist Church in the city. So our brothers and sisters over at Medicine Tribe are having a speaker meeting tonight. Oh yeah. So it'll be at 601 South Grand, Oklahoma City at 7 o'clock. We're gonna try to meet here at the office at 6 p.m. Get everybody loaded up. So everybody needs a ride. Let us know here on the Facebook or message me on Facebook, and we'll get you guys speak there. We're trying to leave by 6:15 because that meeting, anytime they have a speaker meeting, is
packed.
big. Especially with Daniel speaking.
Yeah.
You know, Daniel Givens, aka I used to know him. You know, in our addiction, I didn't really know him, but I heard of him. You know, everybody's always be like, you know, Daniel. I'm like, nah, I don't know. They would call him the Biscuit Honker. I was like, who? The what? The what? But yeah, Daniel Givens, you know. I always heard about him when I was out there, you know, cheering in the city. But now that
the
we're
man,
in
the
recovery,
myth, the legend.
yeah, you get to see him all the time. You know, he always supports us, so he'll be.
Yeah.
So yeah, come out and support our brother Daniel. You know, and
Yeah, good guy.
who's the other lady? I think there's another lady speaking too.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I just know Daniel.
It is.
Oh, Mariah S.
Mariah S.
Daniel G.
So it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
They always have a drum, a lot of food.
Yeah.
You know, and there's always a lot of people there. So we'll be there tonight. But also Friday night, tomorrow night we have another 12-step meeting. So 1950 South Shepherd. Once again, we start the smudge on Thursday and Fridays at 6:30. We get the meeting going at 7. So on Thursday night, the meeting is usually like an open meeting. Everybody comes in there. We choose a topic and we talk about it. On Thursday night, 12-step meeting, we go through the steps as a group. So we'll a lot of times we'll read what we got to read, or we'll watch a video, and then some nights we put pen to paper and put in some of that work, you know, in the workbook. So if you guys are interested in going through the steps, or, you know, come through. We do that as a group, and it's always a good meeting, more intimate, you know. So
Good morning, and Jesse, Sonia, and the 29th we have a speaker meeting here in 1950. The Deadly Uncle, the Anti-Slayer,
the Torta Pounder,
yeah. Mr. Lydell Pedro will be our speaker on the 29th. We're going to serve a meal at 6 to 7, and he's going to be speaking from 7 to 8. So, you know, it's his first time speaking, but, you know, that's just, you know, he likes to help.
Oh yeah.
You know, another brother that's jumped right in, you know, and you know, we just want to give him his opportunity to do what he's passionate about, and that's helping other people, you know. And you know, that's the brother. That's the brother. You
Yeah, I'm
know?
excited about it. You know, like
Yeah.
since this past year, I've got so many new friends now. He's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we be just cracking up with each other all the time. But he definitely wanted me to invite all the aunties,
Yes.
single or married, come out and listen to his story, you know, because he's got a good story.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of aunties might be in that story. You never know. I'll be making those amends like my brother over here.
We remain anonymous.
um, okay, on August 21st, where the absentee Shawnee are having a fentanyl awareness event in Oklahoma City.
Having a free bingo night.
Free bingo night?
Yep.
5 to 8.
Wow. At the We the People building in Southwest Oklahoma City. So, you know, gotta have more awareness, you know, to this whole fentanyl deal. You know, we need more community involvement, you know, especially in Oklahoma City, you know. So, you know, come on out. Free bingo.
Yeah, yeah.
Free bingo.
We went to, I don't know if it's them, but we went to one a few years ago at the church we're going to tonight.
Uh-huh.
They had a fundraiser bingo event. And man, we were winning everything. Like we were just, I don't know what it was. Me and my mom and my kids were just almost every game winning something. Walking out of there, car full of stuff. But yeah, man.
Wow. Yeah, come on out, August 21st. We're gonna be dancing too. All right, all right. Is there any more? Any more? Well, we done been on for 41. Yeah, we're gonna start doing commercials in this bad boy. But yeah, come check out Daniel Gibbons tonight at the Medicine Tribe. You know, got to show support for any well variety, you know. But
Yeah, we're gonna be rolling deep tonight.
yeah,
So we got about 3 cars. So like I said, hit us up. You need a ride, you know. As long as you let us know about 5:30, we should be able to pick you up.
yeah. Good morning, Boris, brother-in-law. Good morning. Good morning. Well, I believe that's it. Want to say congratulations
Thank you, sir.
again.
Appreciate it.
Huge deal. You know, 1 year old today.
Mhm.
You know, is there any advice that you would like to give somebody that is new to this recovery thing?
Oh yeah, definitely just one day at a time, you know. Even though I have a year, man, I've been up for like 5 hours. So I got 5 hours of clean
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
just for the day.
just
you know.
for today.
Get a sponsor and work them steps like your life depends on it, because it does.
Yes, for sure. Well, you know, you heard it from the man himself. Yeah, this guy. But appreciate you, brother. You know, you're always welcome. Come on anytime you want. I don't know exactly what tomorrow looks like about. Yeah, because we'll figure it out. We'll have it. Well, appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know, like, share, follow. You know, so I believe that's it.
Yeah.
I hope.
I hope.
Stop!